Hello YouTube and the tribes of the horror realm. This is our Chiller Theater Expo recap for April 2013. We went Friday and Saturday, and though initially, it didn't have the most stunning lineup that they normally have. I mean, Chiller is a mixed bag of people from all genres and all avenues of entertainment. We had a really good time overall. Took us basically with some traffic in lovely New York, about a little over maybe 5.5 hours, a little longer than normal. We got there probably around 3 o'clock. And we went over right away into the pre-show line because we had our pre-show tickets, and met our friend in convention cohort, 13 the Bear, Mark. He had gotten there even earlier than us and held us a nice spot, pretty much second in line. So, though it actually moves pretty quick, so even if you're the 102nd in line, you're in pretty early. But once you get in there, it's usually the pre-show is to get you to go to the dealer's room, because a lot of the celebrities aren't always ready to start signing yet. They're supposed to let us in at 5 o'clock, but they actually let us in a bit earlier than that. And the first thing we did was figured out where the different celebrities were, and we made a beeline and looked around and found the room that what we felt was the main star of the show. Akira Takarada was going to be signing, and we planted ourselves in front of this empty room and waited. And slowly but surely people started showing up, filing behind us, and the show came around, and people from the show and said, yeah, he's not even coming down till 6 o'clock. So that whole line dispersed, except us. So people went off to get other people, but we stayed where we were, and until another guy came along and sat right behind us, and he was really funny, so he entertained us the rest of the time we were there. And then even at 6 o'clock, it was a bit longer for them to set up and get established. But for people that don't know who Akira Takarada was, or is he was the main star of the original Godzilla movie. He played Ogata, the fishing boat captain. He went on to star in Godzilla vs. Mothra, and Invasion of the Astro Monsters, and the forgettable King Kong Escapes. So we're waiting in line, we're chatting a bit, and then suddenly I turn around, and who's standing in front of me with this nice smile, but Mr. Takarada, who thanked everyone for being there and apologized for being late and said he'll be signing quickly. And I gotta admit, I swooned a little.
Yeah, you did.
Like, wow, that was Akira Takarada.
Your mouth was open, honey. I saw it.
Yeah. So we finally let us in. Teresa and I were the first in line, and I went in and greeted Mr. Takarada in his native language, which I guess should be my native language, but really isn't. But I had him sign a couple things for us, and we talked a little bit. I found out about my history and my family history, where we're from. And then what really blew our minds was he showed us these really nice decorative gold boards with gold borders with some calligraphy, Japanese brushwork, which they do with kanji. And he had done these nice brushwork with the letters, and signed them. And he pulled up one. Excuse me. Excuse me. Says, thank you, God, and he pointed out Gojira. Said Godzilla, and he says, a gift to you. And we were really surprised because, here is a legendary kaiju actor, and he wanted to give us this gift. So we were really bowled over. So from Cloud 9, we went all the way down and took the last train to Clarksville and went to meet someone Teresa really wanted to see, which was Mickey Dolenz. And you can explain why and what.
When we first got in the room, we paid the woman for the autograph, which is $30, and then there was another guy who took my album to have him sign it, Mickey to sign it, and it was really so impersonal. I couldn't even get almost like up to the table to ask him any questions. The guy just gave him the record, he signed it, and I got my 2 cents worth in just to say, you're one of my favorite groups. I watched all your shows and everything. And he said, oh, what was your name? And I said, my name is Teresa, and that was about it. And then he just passed me off to the line. I didn't get a picture with him because he was also $30 for the picture on top of the autograph. So, but it was really impersonal. I was very upset because he was one of the people I really wanted to meet because the Monkees were one of my favorite groups. But I suggest if you're going to go meet them, it's not that great of a experience. It really turned me off.
Yeah, especially the $30 fee. For, you already paid $30 to get him to sign something, and he wants another $30 to just stand up and take a picture. A little ridiculous. Anyways, we went then to see our friend Dom, who reps a few celebrities, and we got to meet the great Larry Cohen. Now, Larry has been a screenwriter and director. His canon of movies include Maniac Cop, he wrote that. Wrote and directed the It's Alive movies. Q, The Winged Serpent, which was an awesome film. God Told Me To. It goes on, The Stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So we went over to see Larry, and I went up to him, and I knew a little about some of his personal information, and within a short time, I had Larry Cohen doing James Cagney impressions. So it was pretty entertaining. He's a trip. He's a pretty funny guy, and we were thrilled to get a chance to meet Mr. Cohen. And then we were introduced to another star from Maniac Cop, and that would be Laureen Landon. Sometimes you go to a convention, and like Teresa said, her expectations were high for Mickey Dolenz. It didn't really merit up. But sometimes it's a surprise who you really hit it off well with, and we really hit it off well with Laureen. We talked for a good amount of time with her about each other's lives and stuff, and she was generally a nice person. Asked us to swing back. She said, "Oh, you're here this weekend? Swing back again on Saturday." And we had a really good, great conversation, great time.
She's very engaging. She just wants to get to know you.
So we're thrilled with that. After that, we went over, and it was kind of a little bit crowded in the corner, and I kind of broke from the crowd, and I was standing next to a table, and the celebrity looks over to me, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Robert." I'm like, "How you doing? I'm Chris." He smiled, like, so I'm like, "What would I know you from?" And he's like, points out, "Well, I was in the movie E.T." And of course, sorry, never seen it. What else you got for me? And he's like, "Well, I did this other picture. It was really small, so chances are you didn't see that one either." But it was kind of set him up perfectly. That was Robert McNaughton, who played Michael
In the movie E.T. He was one of the guys that I really wanted to meet. I have a 25th anniversary edition of E.T. and it came with a book, which I had Dee Wallace sign like a couple of years ago. So I thought it'd be a great piece to have him sign also. And he was such a nice guy. He was very engaging. We had a conversation with him, and he actually told us to stop by later in the weekend because we told him we'd be here until Saturday, and he said, "Oh, swing by, and just say hello."
Yeah, we were just talking. He used to have dreadlocks for a while, and so we actually got into this whole conversation about hair care and stuff like that. So you never know where these conversations go. But if you're ever at a convention, Robert Monotton's a great guy to meet.
Really?
Really friendly and engaging guy.
Down to earth too. He's
Yep.
just so nice.
So then we went right into what they call the living room, or the pit area, where they have a lot of their main celebs. And we wanted to add Nancy Allen to our Carrie poster. She was actually right about to take her break, but she stopped to take care of us. We spoke with her a little bit, added her to the poster. She was very pleasant, very sweet.
She said I was beautiful.
She's off her meds. I'm just kidding, honey. Anyhow, next was who?
Elin Mitchell Smith.
And why should they know who Elin Mitchell Smith is?
He played Wyatt in Weird Science, one of my favorite 80 movies of all time. He was really, really nice, really down-to-earth kind of guy, the cutest little guy I've ever seen. He hasn't changed much. He still looks like Wyatt from Weird Science, but it was a great, great meet. It was just fantastic.
Yeah, and I tried. He's going to be at another convention we're going to be going to with his co-star Anthony Michael Hall, and I had this great idea for a photo op there. So I hit him with the idea. Of course, if you've seen Weird Science, you know when they create Lisa, they're wearing something on their heads. And I'm like, hey, let's all do a photo op with that on our heads. And he's like, hey, no. Because Elin is actually Dr. Elin Mitchell Smith. He is a professor at a university in Texas. And he basically said he's a professor, he can't do that and have that come back on him in a review if someone sees it online. So I can totally understand that. It is part of his past, but he should seriously want to let it be in his past if he wants to seek a promotion or some sort within the academia. And I know they wouldn't look kindly to see the humor in it.
So when I see Anthony Michael Hall later this year, we're going to have him sign the poster that we had Elin sign, which was a Weird Science poster.
Right after that, we then went over and went to see another gentleman that we had met a few years before. But anytime you can see a living legend, you take up that chance. Now, anyone that watches our videos knows we're huge fans of vintage horror films, and Creature from the Black Lagoon being one of them. We had to go and see the creature himself, the Gill Man, Rico Browning, and we met his daughter as well. He told us some more creature stories, and it was an excellent chance to meet this guy for a second time. Some people don't get once, we got it twice, so thrilled.
It's a great meet. If you get a chance, go ahead and get in there and see him.
Now, near the end of the night, Mark had to take off, and one of the guests had not arrived, so we took his piece that he was working on over to Travis Love from The Walking Dead. He plays a character known as Schubert the Bowman. He was one of the people in Waterbury. Excuse me, not Waterbury. Woodbury. We drove through Waterbury, but in Woodbury, one of the governor's minions there, his lackeys. If you saw the episode where, well, I won't even get into it, it's a spoiler thing, but he's the one that gets in with Martinez into the truck with the governor at the end of that episode. So we got it signed for Mark, and we got a chance to grab a picture with him and chatted with him a little bit. Then the next day we went back early in the morning, got into the pre-show, made our way to one of the rooms that we decided we were going to grab David Warner. David's been in everything. He was Jennings in The Omen. If you're a Star Trek fan, he was Chancellor Gorkin. He was in Waxworks, the original Tron movie, and we got a chance to meet him, and I brought one of my rare Island movie posters because he was one of the stars in the Peter Benchley Island movie, and I unwielded this poster and opened up my love for the island, and must say David Warner totally unimpressed. Really, he didn't think much of the movie. And Wolfman, I told him about you being on the West Coast holding down the love for the movie, me on the East Coast holding down the love for the movie. Impressed with neither of us. He said, you know, the movie did nothing. It was what it was. But then I brought up another one of his films, which was Catch a Deadly Spell, and he loved to go to talk about that one. But it was really cool to meet David Warner, and a gentleman signed the poster, but if everyone had to meet him, he could care less about the island. We went over to talk to another guy we know, a booking agent, about a few things. He actually lives up in my area, and we got a chance to meet Kane Roberts, who was the guitar player for Alice Cooper. Fronts his own band now. Got a chance to talk to him because he turned out to be a Mass native as well originally. So it was still early in the morning. Not a lot of people had started filtering in quite yet, or they were still elsewhere, what have you. So we got a chance to talk with him. He was a really nice guy as well. But overall, there are a few other people we were interested in, but the thing with Chiller is it's very overpriced. If you go to conventions and you see people that are 20, if they're a Chiller, they're 25, maybe 30. They just up it a little more. And everyone seems to like to charge for photos, which seems very petty. You know, there were a couple people we wanted to meet, and once we saw their prices, we're like, yeah, not impressed. So we picked and chose our battles. Even in the dealer room, we spent time going through the dealer room, and the good majority of the stuff, again, was overpriced in there. And, you know, our buddy Mark, he goes to these things living for the dealer room, and he comes out with friggin' arms loads of stuff at conventions. And this one, really nothing. Nothing. We bought one thing, and that's amazing for Mark. So that kind of tells you where the prices were for these guys in the dealer room. But so that was it for Chiller, and then we pretty much, it was early afternoon, and we decided to head home and get home while the light was still out and the sky was still blue. So that's about it. We will have a follow-up video showcasing some of the items we got signed and items we had picked up. And as far as the next convention, we don't have anything locked in stone. We got a few irons in the fire for a couple things, but we'll decide as it gets closer. So I'm sure, stay tuned. We will have more. Thank you very much.
Bye.